Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Roottreemania, where we're slowly putting together some pieces. We have, I think, most but not all of this affair uh, uh, I feel like if I could just figure out which one is Christine Garland, actually, then that would give me the 4. Because I think basically this Christine Garland photo has to be one of the ones we have. And then we could get 4 locked in, and that would be really helpful. So I think I'm going to examine this slightly more closely. Okay, so if I look at these photos, I'm just trying to identify age of this guy. So this is, I guess this guy whose name is literally Guy. So this is the first affair, because this is the mother of... and so it seems to me like he's... definitely older here. What year is this? Don't think I know. Have this whole bit about a swingers party. Is this a photo at the swingers party? Is that why we have sort of 2 arms around this this woman? Was the swingers party a let's see. Maybe it's in here. I didn't realize this was 2 pages when I went back. Okay. She was hired to write a book about Guy Hudson. Here's Eve. First, he wanted to be seen as the second coming of the great Elias Roottrees, and second, he'd never be satisfied in his life the way to be seen that way. Okay, last time we met, he even switched out his orange suits for green ones. So that is telling us that the orange suit era came before the green suit era. So we can sort of rule that one out. He was president. Do you know why he never released this book himself? If I had to guess, his family very wisely put a stop to it mid-1981, month after I'd already moved on. He called me back and showed me a final draft. Do you know how expensive it is to publish 1 copy of a book? It had my name on it in big, shiny, embossed letters. Like all problems in life, throwing money at it was his attempt to win me back. But at half the page count of the narrative was torn to bits. No thanks. The dinner was good. Imported steak that likely cost as much as a month of my mortgage. and we all got pretty drunk. He sent his mistress, Susie, something into the bathroom to proposition me. Let's highlight that, and we can... I'd rather that go in Guy stuff. Let me delete this. Poor girl. I remember her from our trips overseas. She was too good for him anyway. He died soon after, and that was the last it ever came up. So probably Susie is the last affair. Let me just fill that in while I'm noting that. Oh, yeah, I already have it. Okay. I apparently already noticed this. Okay, so... Okay, what can you tell me about this work from Sam Madsen? I actually haven't read it. I just skimmed the sections on Guy to see why people are suddenly calling me up to ask about the man. I'd say she did well for what she had to work with. She only had rumors, whereas I spent time tailing him. Sometimes he knew, sometimes he didn't. He invited me to join them when dealing with Roottrees Brazil, but I actually had people on him when he went to Australia, France, and China too. When he got someone I'd figure out or in how they were involved, doubly so if the meeting happened when he didn't want me around. Despite his best efforts, I got the whole truth, including things even his family never knew. For example, the daughter of his business partner in Australia, I think her name was Robin, he and she definitely spent a few nights together that he didn't want his family to know about, but I did. See, Madsen got some things wrong. Sam mentions Guy's affairs and treats them like most people would logically think to treat them, like the infidelity was a problem for Patricia. When his wife first approached me, though, it wasn't to talk, if you get my meaning. On paper and in public, it was a marriage like any other, but in reality, it was more of a mutually beneficial agreement. They both got what they wanted out of it, the same thing. What was that? I'm assuming I only have to spell it out so you can get it in writing for your readers. Women. Patricia enjoyed the company of women, and the swinger scene made that more accessible. I told her I wasn't interested in her and Guy. I'm going to just snap that in there. Found out later, if I had said yes, her next question would have been whether or not her husband actually had to be there too. Guy, on the other hand, was seen in a traditional marriage, and at the same time could bet any woman that he found him or that found him charming. I can assure you, it's exactly the type of marriage he was interested in. Okay, so that works out, but it doesn't tell me too much about this. Yeah, in the background there's a Christmas tree. I can see that. So the green suit one, this is the latest one, is what, or, well, yeah, this has got to be the latest one of these. So probably that means that probably this one is Susie, is my guess. So if that's true, how many other women do I have photos? So there's two more, I guess. It's this one and this one. Okay. Christine Garland, huh? Any idea and any votes on which of these people has rosemary cheeks? Or that one? It was much more likely that this was at a swingers party, but I don't think I have any notes that the swingers party was around Christmas or anything like that. let's read about this 5-piece bit. This is close. By Miracle. Okay. He starts with 6 pieces content. That's the book that Sam wrote. He says that although most of the book was based in fact, left out anything that wouldn't fit the agenda. Points out that Sam's daughter still earns a generous salary for overseeing the farm division, and that Sam did the same before her. Sam's family was not destitute, and that really it was only her son who chose to take on a job with no salary. He claims that though they didn't have to, the family helped pay for her son's medical bills after voting that it was the right thing to do. Miracle also says that the story about his father shunning EC was one-sided, leaving out Edward Clancy's blame in the whole thing. Elias gave him a simple ultimatum: stop being gay or get disowned. Miracle says it was EC's own choice, and that Elias allowing him to earn food and shelter on the company's dime was a kindness, especially considering that he and John continued living together. How sinful. Miracle then pivots to the fallout from 6 pieces. He recounts a deluge of claims to the clans of trust. Doesn't cite any specifics, but says that every time someone comes forward, the family devolves into arguments. Had to hire an illegal team. Focuses on 5Ps who appeared on news time before him. This is the rapper. He calls him a delinquent and says he's using their names and product to sell filth to the masses. Of all the accusations, he says this is the most dangerous because it exposes the world to hatred. He cites 5P's lyrics as violent, sexist, and ungodly, and prays the boy will repent, retract his lies, and find religion. Goal states that those who wish to hear the true story can join him on his farewell tour. Mentions that Miracle's son did not wish to comment, and has a statement from Chris Rafferty LaRue. Miracle does not speak for his entire family. We're working carefully on a plan to definitively disprove any claims of infidelity in our family's past. Good luck with that. The article also does not refute Miracle's claim that he's the oldest living Roottree, despite Sam Matson being born the year before him. It was unclear if Miracle made this claim out of ignorance or spite. Okay, so let's see. We don't have a whole lot here. Okay. Elizabeth is the one. Oh, I think Elizabeth is the mother of Christine, actually. Yeah. Okay, so this is not super relevant at the moment. Okay, how am I going to pin down which of these people is really Christine? So, like, we know who that is. Of course, that is, what's his name? That's Zachariah, the second president. Okay. Should I search McCurran's Brew House? I should. Okay, that was one of the things I should look for. This is a pub in Boston, and they have a website. Apparently the bar has been around a long time. On the site, there's a list of famous people who have had a drink there, including former President of the United States, not the Root Tree Company, Kennedy. There's also a few listings of television shows and books that have a mention of McCurran's, as well as how they came up. One of them is Garnishing the Truth, which has a site... which the site has this to say about local and regular Stevie G. Wrote a book about food. We prefer cocktails, but he gave us a shout out, and we ain't gonna say no to free press. So go grab a bite at his kids' joint, Fried Eye, and then swing by for a drink. Okay, so okay, Fried Eye. This is a fairly popular restaurant in Boston. They don't have a website, but many locals mention them in various places. One of the more in-depth reviews explains that it's not a full restaurant, just a front door and very small interior with a window. Unusually, the vegetable only serves vegetables, but a lot of the reviews say that in spite of that, it's delicious. You also find a short story about it listed on a website called My Boston Homepage. Whoever runs the page seems to link to random sites related to Boston, tell personal anecdotes related to Boston, and give their relatively short opinions on things in Boston. It's very unorganized. It has this to say about Fried Eyes. Wickedly overrated. I saw it in Chef's Signature, so I went, and there is a huge line, and they didn't have a single meat dish. What's even the point? Okay, so we should look at Chef's Signature in periodicals. Chef's Signature, Fried Eye. There we go. Okay. Okay, and we should also look for both of the children there. Chef's Signature covered Fried Eye less than a year ago, right around the same time you were doing your initial investigation. Each article in Chef's Signature tends to focus on a restaurant, and like the magazine's name implies, each restaurant lists one main dish that the head chef is known for. Fried Eye's signature is the samosa cone. The cover and main article have been added to your evidence. Okay, let's look at this. Oh, this is both of them. Sitting down with the Garlands, the new boys in Boston. Okay, can a vegetarian diet be trendy? Magazine features James and Robert Garland on the cover. The two brothers own a small walk-up called the Fried Eye. Exclusively serves vegetarian dishes. Most of the offerings are heavily inspired by the powerful spices found in Thai and Indian food. Signature dish is the samosa cone, which from a distance resembles a traditional ice cream cone, complete with waffle pattern. Instead contains fried potatoes, pureed peas, carrots, and a special ginger-based sauce. It doesn't feel like there'd be ketchup and mustard at a restaurant that is being described here, but maybe. Robert, who is 3 years older than James. Okay, so we know that Robert is the older one, so should be to the left. So this one should be Robert. This one should be James. I feel like there is a James Garland in the real world. So that although the age difference has left him delegated to wear the sous chef jacket for his whole life, I guess that's this one. He doesn't mind as a result. James answers most of the interviewer's questions. Wait, Robert is 3 years younger. No, I just flipped this for no reason. James credits his love of food and his culinary skills to upbringing. Most kids hate vegetables growing up, but they don't have parents like we did. My father was a chef, and my mother grew up on a farm that supplied his restaurant. That's how they met. I don't have any memories from the farm or anything like that since we moved here before I could even talk, but they told me stories. My dad's a great storyteller, even helped write a book that partially helped fund Fridays. When we moved, they were looking to open their own restaurant together. Unfortunately, they never got it off the ground. His line cook gig ended up being less temporary than he hoped, and she had to go back to work as a secretary even after Robert was born. Before old enough to go to school, we spent our days with my aunt. In the diner where he worked, my dad had no room for experimenting, so he'd exercise his skills at home on his off days. We'd always go shopping and cook as a family on those days, and even though we were hyper kids running around and causing a ruckus, some of our family's favorite moments, Mom always had an eye for the best vegetables for him to work with, the best for us. According to the article, their parents, who are now retired, visit Friday often. They even have a signature dessert, the Sistine Apple. Apple pie's always been my mom's favorite, and my dad always had the stupid line used to make her laugh involving apple pie. Most people realized it's a Sistine Chapel pun. And assume that's all there is, but it's actually a secret named after them, sort of. Oh, okay, because her name is Christine. Okay, so I think this might actually let us lock in. So James is the older one. Robert is the younger one. Oh no, that did not do it. How could I possibly not have the right number of these correct now? Okay. Going on skin tone, I'm guessing this is their mother. Skin tone and hairstyle. Based on this. Okay, it says that I'm supposed to get this right when I have 4 name, occupation, and portrait. I don't have 4 names correct? How is that possible? Like, there's nowhere... Unless these are the final affair. How did I decide that these weren't... Oh, right, because the final affair was with someone named Susie, I think we decided. Oh, and also these people split up, whereas Stephen and Christine Garland are still together. I have to look what a sous chef jacket looks like. Yeah, I think this has got to be a sous chef jacket. It's not that sous chef is listed as a separate career, right? No. They said she went back to being a secretary, right? That was part of the... part of the story. You don't get to list retired as an occupation, do you? No. So I think all of these are right. Okay, so is it something... Well, they can't all be right, because we know that Guy is right. Unless something has gone horribly wrong. When did Guy die? Do I have this in my notes? Guy Hudson. Okay, let's figure out when Guy Hudson died. Okay, he liked to throw large holiday parties. And they often got out of hand. Okay. When did he die, though? What year? Let's see. I can probably find that in the periodicals. Okay, it was 1982. Okay, so if that's the case, okay, so when did Steve... So Steve was doing cooking classes in 1978. Was Steve actually the most recent one? Maybe Steve was actually the most recent of these. Okay, so it was 1978 when they mentioned that Christine and Steve had met. So I think this actually is the other one. Because they recently got married, but they used to meet long ago and then moved to Boston, all that sort of stuff. Oops. Timeline. 1978. Steve does cooking classes. And Christine is recently married. Died in 1982. So that would make, given that we have to fit 2 children in here. So the Susan one, I guess, is not you, presumably. We're saying here, if this is so if this is going to be Christine Garland. Oh, but they didn't split up. This can't be right. No, this can't be right. right? Because I think even this very recent magazine article mentions that they're still together, right? Let me double check that that's true, but I think it does. Their parents, who are now retired, visit often. Yeah, as of 1998. Okay, so let's read a little bit more about our rapper fellow. Let's see if we can get a date on this. Oh, okay, this is over. There's even years here. This goes from 1975 to 1982. So, if this happened in like 78, this is totally in the right area for this to have happened. Okay, I think this is correct where it is. Although, again, it is a mystery to me why this stuff is not locking in. Okay, let's look at the 5 Ps stuff again. See if there's anything in there that I have obviously gotten wrong. Felix Fellows. Alias 5 Piece is a play on 5 pieces. His real name is David. Wait. His real name is David. There we go. Okay. Who have we actually locked in, and who is still somehow wrong? Okay, we've got Guy. Okay, we've got those children. Okay, and we've also got some of those. Okay. Woohoo!
Has Clark reached out to you? Well, let me give you a short history lesson about the last few months of my life. 3 different people contacted me, claiming that somewhere in their history, they might be Roottrees. First, that young man, the rapper. I ignored that one. He seemed dubious. But then I saw the news. I felt terrible. So I began helping the others. Because my doubts with Felix were so misfounded, I ended up putting too much faith in the second person that approached me. I went to the media prematurely. I admit my mistake there. But the third person who contacted me also had a credible case. Before I could help, the company got to them somehow. The fact that the family silenced them doesn't seem to fill me with hope when it comes to Clark's intentions. But you're making progress based on the leads he gave you. It's really hard for me to get a read on him. I'll let you handle it. I've sent you the case I've been working on, and some company records I managed to track down. The records are quite dense, but hopefully they're useful. Good luck.
Okay. So, this is the... I have the wrong name for her somehow, apparently. Anyway, we'll wrap up this episode here, and I'll try and sort out next time why I have the wrong name, apparently, for his mother. And we'll look at all of this new evidence that we've just been gotten. So thank you, everyone, for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.